I'm sorry. I never in a million years wanted to hurt anyone, and we're not bad people.
So after I did the video on Arielle Charnas, a ton of you said that we should do a top 10 on celebrities and influencers that are not taking social distancing seriously. The good news is I was not able to find 10, and that's good because that means that most people are doing their part to remain distanced. But of course, there are always going to be some bad eggs in times like this, and that is why I was able to find 7 cases of influencers that were caught outside and are not taking social distancing seriously. Hey, what's up, IOers? I'm your host for today, Mackenzie Smith, and in this video, I'm going to be spilling some lockdown tea. But before I get into it, make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you're not already, because we make juicy videos like this as well as daily news stories on the channel, and we are doing our best to keep you all informed and entertained during these difficult times. Okay, so now let's get into the list. So starting off number 7, we have Addison, Ray, and Corinna Kopf. So to start off this list, some Twitter users with way too much time on their hands pieced together a bunch of screenshots and videos to determine that Addison Rae and Corinna Kopf worked together after the LA lockdown was announced. And what made it worse is that David Dobrik is also a culprit here too, as his photo on his David's disposable account is what pieced the whole thing together. So basically, when David posted his photo, many assumed it was one from the archives. But then users decided to do some digging and they put together a screenshot of a Twitch stream Corinna did and then a TikTok Addison did, and they were both wearing the same outfits that they were wearing in David's photo. And the worst part is the dates revealed that they did actually meet up after the social distancing orders were put in place. And after all the backlash, David ended up deleting his photo. And yeah, this one might be the worst on this list because there are clear receipts that the 3 of them were defying government orders and potentially putting themselves or others at risk. Next up at number 6, Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello. So Shawn and Camila have been quarantined with Camila's family in Miami. And while they're out there, they have been going on some walks. One was even cringy enough that we covered it on the channel because they were walking super slow. It was kind of weird. But now that they're going out for walks, people have started to call them out for not taking lockdown seriously and defying orders to social distance. One instance in particular was when they were spotted out holding coffee cups. But many fans noticed that the cups were mysteriously empty in some of the photos. Many were confused about the lack of coffee in the cups, while others were mad in general that they decided to go out in public to get coffee, as they assumed they had got it from some sort of coffee shop. Well, they should have just made it at home. Although since they were carrying the mugs, we could assume that they did make it at their homes and they just took it with them for the walk, but of course no one knows. Others were also angry that they are encouraging paparazzi to come and take their photos, putting them and those paparazzi at risk as well, saying their thirst for paparazzi photos should not put others at risk. So what do you think here? Do you think they wanted paparazzi photos or they just want to go on a simple walk? Then up at number 5, we have Arielle Charnas. So Arielle is someone that I've already covered on the channel, but she has gone viral as tons of people have started to call her out online for going outside after she announced that she tested positive for the virus. And it was made worse by the fact that she got tested by a friend, when a lot of people thought that she wasn't considered high enough risk to be tested, therefore taking away a test from someone that might have needed it more. Then after she announced she'd contracted the virus in New York City where she lives, she decided to leave her home and go the remainder of lockdown in her Hamptons home. But she left for the Hamptons only day 9 or 10 of having the virus, when doctors do not recommend infected patients to go outside whatsoever until after 14 days. And many called out the fact that she could have infected people in her building by using the common spaces, but she assured her fans that she took the proper precautions to ensure she did not infect others. And then even after she got backlash for being in the Hamptons, she decided to still keep posting photos of her outside, even one where she's clearly out on a public street. And many called her out, of course, since the virus can stay in the air for hours. It could infect someone that walks through it after she's gone. Now, after all the public backlash that she has received, she released a public apology. But a lot of people think that it might be too late and her brand might never recover from this scandal. Because not only did she potentially infect people through her travels, she continued to post and seemingly not care after she started to get backlash. What do you guys think about this one? Then in at number 4, Naomi Davis. So Naomi Davis, a popular mommy blogger and social media influencer who runs the blog Love Taza, posted a photo on Instagram of an RV outside of their New York apartment a few weeks ago. And in the post, she announced that her husband and their 5 children were leaving the city to drive out west so they can have a little more space. But soon after she posted that, some of her followers started to slam her for this decision, saying that her family's choice for leaving during a time when self-isolation and social distancing is recommended is irresponsible and setting a bad example for her her followers. Davis said her family left just one day before the CDC issued a travel advisory for New York, Connecticut, and New Jersey, urging residents to avoid travel for at least 14 days. Some of the comments said things like, quote, "You've been specifically asked not to do this," and "Shame on you, endangering others like this." One commenter from Europe gave their take on the whole situation too, saying, quote, "Insane, absolutely wrong thing to do. We in Europe did the same mistake and learned the hard way. You should have stayed home. That's the reason the virus is spreading." And at number 3, Maffucci. So Ali is another person who decided to leave NYC, which is the American epicenter for the virus, and go to Florida to wait the whole situation out. But of course, people were not happy she was traveling when she was specifically asked not to. Ali runs a blog and social media account called Inspirized. She said that none of them are symptomatic, but she believes that people in her building might be sick. In an Instagram post that is now deleted, Maffucci wrote of living in a high-rise building with hundreds of people, and fearing that every time she and her family leave to run errands, they're at risk of contracting COVID-19. She continued saying that they can't breathe fresh air without worrying. She wrote in the post, and continued, "After I saw a woman collapse in our lobby, I couldn't stay there anymore." And of course, her commenters did not hold back, saying things like, quote, "Imagine being present for the collapse of a presumably infected person and thinking the smartest thing I could do right now is drive south along the entirety of America's East Coast." Then another commenter said, quote, "Wow, horrible decision for the largely elderly community, such as my grandparents in Florida." I definitely agree with that one. Florida is the last place to go if you think you're sick. Then in at number 2, Malaysian celebrities. So a slew of Malaysian celebrities have been in the news for defying orders about stopping traveling and staying in place. And it's especially bad because at that time, Malaysia was the hardest hit Asian country from the virus. Malaysia became the first Southeast Asian country to implement a nationwide lockdown on March 18th, heightening concern among citizens who feared contracting the virus. A few days before the lockdown began, Malaysian celebrities and influencers including Alicia Azman and Alvin Chong were accused of being insensitive for traveling amid the pandemic. Malaysian actress Ashiza Azam traveled to Turkey last month. On March 14th, the 23-year-old posted photos of herself in Cappadocia on Instagram, where many followers urged her to stay safe and take care of her health. But a ton of others also posted negative comments and used the hashtag #StayAtHome, showing their disapproval of the actress's holiday. Then around the same time, Malaysian singer Alvin Chong posted pictures from New York a day before the lockdown was announced. Many urged him to stay safe, but there were also tons of hate comments telling him not to come back to Malaysia, and I cannot blame those people. Then in at number 1, Jeffree Star. So I told you in another video how Jeffree Star got a lot of hate for his video called "Never Leaving My House Again." But in the video, he pretty much left the house the whole time. But after this, he did come out and said that the video was filmed before LA was told to lock down, so he was not breaking any laws by going outside. But then he posted another video later that was filmed during the lockdown called "Updated House Tour Being Single and Quarantined." And he still got some hate for some of his behavior in this one. Although he did not leave the house in this video, people were calling him out for having a ton of people in his house unnecessarily that they assumed do not live with him and were just visiting. People were also frustrated that he had a makeup artist and videographer in his house when people deemed them unessential, saying Jeffree could have done his own makeup and he could have gotten his assistant to film his videos for him. Okay guys, so that is all for the video. Leave your comments on all this below. Who do you think was the worst, and is there anyone that I missed? Because I'm sure there's probably more, but for some reason I could not find any real proof of it. Like I heard someone say in a video that Laura Lee and Manny MUA met up during lockdown, but I couldn't find too many people talking about it that I wanted to include it. And then I saw someone else say that Jaclyn Hill was getting together with some family members that are not her immediate family, but again, I couldn't find anything juicy enough to actually put in the video. But if you have more, please leave those in the comments and we can all enjoy those stories. But before I go, I want to shout out a few of your comments from my celebrities refusing to collab with James Charles video. So 100,000 subscribers without a video challenge said, "Staying at home? 2019. He's lazy. 2020, he is a responsible citizen." Yeah, it's really crazy how times change so quickly. Then just some guy without a mustache said the reason as to why they might not want to collab with James is because they fear that maybe James may drag them into unnecessary drama. And that's definitely the vibe I got from people like Cardi. And he does get into a lot of scandals and stuff, so it's better to just kind of avoid him than to get the little bump that you would get from being in one of his videos. Then Elizabeth Stoddard said, "Wow, 2 minutes. That's the fastest I got here." Thanks so much, Elizabeth. That is the type of energy we love seeing in this channel. Y'all should click the bell if you haven't already. Then Diary of a Young Mommy said, he means well, but there's a time and place for everything. The way he asked for these collabs was very unprofessional, so no one will take him seriously as talented as he is. And I totally agree. I think you hit the nail on the head here, as asking for collabs isn't a problem. That's, should be encouraged, but it just needs to be done the correct way, in my opinion. Like, he just is a little too thirsty. Okay guys, thank you so much for those comments. I really appreciate it. And leave comments down below in this video that you want me to see, and you might be featured in one of my next videos. Okay, so that is all for the video. Please like and subscribe down below if you liked. We make juicy videos like this every single day that you do not want to miss. Also follow the team on our Instagrams to be kept up to date with what we're doing during the lockdown. Mine's down below if you want to check it out. So thanks so much for watching, guys. We truly, truly appreciate it, and I will see you in my next video.